What the heck is up? Welcome to the family-friendly My Hero Academia Quirkless podcast. I forgot the name there for a second. Today we will be covering chapter 192 and 193 because we didn't do an episode for the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're deciding, unless my college schedule fucks me over, to do these. Well, we're going to be doing them on the Mondays, and they'll come out around Tuesday, Wednesday time.
So our information won't be immediately outdated.
Yeah.
Every time we make one. So
let's
that's
hope
cool.
My college doesn't fuck me over when they give me my timetable. But who knows? The world is a crazy place. So we're going to be starting on 192, and once we get onto 193, I'm just gonna leave fucking time code in the description so you can just skip to that one if you just don't care about this chapter, or you can just avoid the 193 discussion if you haven't read it. But I mean, probably should have read it. God.
Yeah. 192 was basically just Hawks and Endeavor and Endeavor's family life. It was pretty great.
Another Todoroki chapter, which is it's nice to see.
We got Todoroki doing the slurpy slurp.
There's a lot of it's funny. It's a funny chapter. I like just Todoroki. I shouldn't say Todoroki. I should say Shoto. Todoroki looked at Todoroki and said, "Nice scar." No, so I like how the family isn't immediately accepting, because obviously they wouldn't accept him.
I think Natsuo should accept him a lot faster, considering he was the main character in Fairy Tail, and Fairy Tail was all about friendship.
I've never touched Fairy Tail. I've heard it's bad.
It is very bad. It's knockoff One Piece.
It's knockoff that new manga he's making because they all look the same. Have you seen it?
No. Which one is that?
His new manga he's writing practically reuses all of the same Fairy Tail designs. Like they just straight up look the same.
What's it called?
I fucking forget. If you just put the author's new manga, you'll find it. But it's practically just Fairy Tail, but it's set in the future.
Okay.
I've never was interested in Fairy Tail, so I'm not going to be reading it. But like, I have a friend who was kind of interested in Fairy Tail. He liked it. I've never read it, so I can't say if his opinion's trash. I just heard
it is trash because it's a bad series.
He had fun.
Yeah. But I really like Natsuo as a character. I like how they call him Natsuo. That's fun. He's the Fairy Tail boy.
What about Big Bro Toya?
That's not Dabby.
You don't think it's Dabby?
I still don't think it's Dabby.
There's a chance. Like we previously, when we were just in a private call, we talked about how the ages only slightly can match, because Natsuo's 19 and Dabby's around early 20s. So Dabby could be old enough to be related to Natsuo. And
I still think that if it were that simple that he was just it just seems a little too simple for him to just end up being a Todoroki. I think if it were that simple, we would already have his quirk name. That's like one thing that really, like, I don't know, something seems off that we still haven't got Dabby's quirk name.
I'm just usually call it cremation just because it sounds cool.
That's a definite possibility, but I feel like that withheld information is enough to fuel my suspicion that maybe it's not exactly what we think it is.
Well, quirks can mutate. That's how you end up getting different quirks. There's a chance that Dabby just ended up getting a enhanced version of Endeavor's quirk.
Yeah, I think I either think he's a clone, which I know a lot of people really aren't that happy with, but I mean, it'd be interesting.
I think a clone would be just out of nowhere,
not out of nowhere.
I guess it's just that you all thought he was his child, but no, he was his clone. But don't how did they get DNA? How were they able to clone him? It just puts way more questions out there.
He's a hero actively doing hero work. He's gonna get scuffed up, and it'd probably be easy to get a sample of his blood,
then
or even hair.
Why would they do Endeavor when they could have easily done All Might and or Nana or whatever any of the other users of One for All.
Why? Well, I mean, I don't think that any of the other All for One users or One for All users. God, wait, yeah, yeah. I get confused so often. They're so similar. I don't think any of the other One for All users ever even reached the top 10 heroes. I think Nana would be a lot more well known if she had.
I really wish we got to see more of Nana. There's a lot of things that My Hero has that I wish that we just got more in depth. Well, just more details about. But there's no way you can really do that unless you have unless you have chapters upon chapters worth of flashbacks. And I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon.
I mean, we'll see some more Nana flashbacks as soon as All Might dies.
Oh no, that'll be. I saw just one panel of the manga for the movie or whatever, Volume 0, and it's just the picture of Nana getting Nana about to die, pointing towards All Might, and All Might just crying like a bitch. I'm just like, no,
like a bitch. Wow.
I feel like just being really mean. No, it hit me hard. I'm like, god damn it. I just because of the bloated cast My Hero has, it's very unlikely that we're ever going to get a lot of development on characters as it is right now. One thing which is kind of interesting, Oda and Horikoshi had an interview recently, and in it, Oda just straight up tells him he infers that he shouldn't have so many characters because he sees it'll be hard for him in the future to develop them all.
Yeah, I think one person I saw when that came out was I think that's the pot calling the kettle black. Mm-hmm. But when you think about it, there is a main cast for One Piece. Mm-hmm. And while My Hero does technically have a main cast, it isn't that well defined. Who are you going to include in the main cast? You got Deku, you got Midoriya, you could probably put Ida there, but even that's a little shaky. You can put Ochiko in there, but again, little shaky. And you could put Todoroki in there. That one's more solid, and then you could even put Momo in there, and Kirishima. But My Hero really doesn't have a defined main cast like One Piece is. So they don't...
I think One Piece is also a little bit different in that case, because I've been plowing through the anime. I know I probably should be reading the manga, like the elitist I am, Kek. But I can't believe I said Kek on the podcast. Kill me now. Anyway, I've been going through it, and it's a lot of short form storytelling in which where every side character that's introduced is usually developed. And the only real bone I have to pick with One Piece, as it is now, is that characters that should be dead don't die. And it really sours some of the arcs in One Piece, I think, especially Alabasta.
Yeah, I love when All Might dies in One Piece.
That was my favorite. He just
okay. So I want to dip into what's it called? 192 for a second.
Okay.
Because there is this idea that
193.
193. I want to dip into 193 for a bit. There is this idea going around that reincarnation is a central point in the series now, because two of the All for One silhouettes look like Kirishima and Bakugo.
I get the Bakugo, I do not get the Kirishima.
I can see it. While my knee-jerk reaction is to say, that's fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Not case. That's fucking stupid. That's it.
I can see the Bakugo, I can't see the Kirishima at all.
I don't think that's what it is. One, that just seems out there, too out there. But my original thought was, well, the idea of fate really isn't that prominent, or reincarnation isn't that prominent in the series. So it's kind of weird to just suddenly throw that in there. Mm-hmm. But I guess it does kind of make sense when you think about it. It appears that One for All has the ability to bend fate in some way. Because Deku was destined to die when he fought Overhaul. Like
I
Mr.
get that.
Mr. Night Eye saw into his future and he said, "You're fucking dead, kid."
But that had, yeah, I guess, because Night Eye said the only reason why Deku even got out of it was because of his resolve.
Or it could be that he didn't see Deku winning because he died. Oh wait, he actually died in the hospital, didn't he?
He died in the hospital bed.
Okay.
Which that scene that fucked with me. I was out with a group of friends at the time, reading manga on my phone like the antisocial fuck I am. And I was like, I can't. This scene is so sad. Almost cried in public like a fucking pussy. Just imagine me near some shop in the middle of town of an English city. Everyone's teeth are horrible. No one looks good, and like one single tear rolls down my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh my god. Sorry, I'm having some computer troubles right now. But so like, it's not out of the question that there could be some greater idea of fate going on in My Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that's what's going on in this chapter? No, I don't think that's Kirishima and Bakugo, and I feel like that would sort of, the idea of destiny already ruined Naruto. I'm not too keen on it doing it to My Hero as well.
But
I think it's
was like at the end of Naruto. It's just kind of, I haven't watched or read the entirety of Naruto, but I know what the ending was. And it kind of just like all of this was planned from the beginning, and it kind of just destroys the entire point of the show.
Yeah, like, and that would be exactly what would happen as well. Like, if all the characters that we've met so far were destined to become pro heroes because they're reincarnations of One for All users, well, then what the fuck?
Birds of
Why?
a feather flock together.
It's like,
let's hope that My Hero doesn't go in the same way as Naruto did.
It's like, doesn't that undermine their personal motivations to become heroes in the first place? What this series is about? And I feel like one thing I'll say, I feel like people who are setting themselves up to think that are gonna be very sad when it turns out it isn't true.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
to jump back.
By the way,
go on.
No, like the guy who holds down the OG user in the flashback looks an awful lot like one of those silhouettes. Maybe it's him.
Possibly.
That's the second user. He right there. He ate his hair.
To jump back into 192, there's a little bit. It seems just like a throwaway line, but it interests me a little bit. It's when Recovery Girl at the start of the chapter, and she says something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, we go way back. Of course, I would come."
Probably because she is the UA student nurse. I mean,
do you think? Wait, did Endeavor actually go UA?
Recovery Girl and Endeavor fucked. Oh my god.
And then they had Dabbing. His flames are blue because they can heal you. That's his actual quirk. He just chooses to use it to destroy everything instead of healing shit.
It's lame. What a lame guy.
What a lame guy.
He is really lame.
There's one thing in 192 which I still don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not I want to find this funny or if I want to find it extremely cringy or not.
What?
The
Can't you see guy?
The meme. I don't know if I read this meme culture stuff and I sit there and I think this is Horikoshi trying to be relatable and it's kind of funny, or if it's Horikoshi's trying to be relatable and gee, this is cringy as fuck.
No, he's a wholesome boy. This is great. I think this is a commentary on society.
I think he's downplaying the strength of meme culture. I think he's overplaying the strength of meme culture. I don't think that one guy just saying "Can't you see" would immediately become a meme.
Well, I mean, if there's one thing the internet likes, it's ridiculing people with intense passion. With people who are passionate about something, boom, ridiculed. Get nated, kid.
I really like Japan. Fucking weeb. No, I just like Japan, and it's called weeb. Don't talk to me. Disgusting. People calling each other, anime fans calling each other weebs on the internet. Could there be anything else more perfect?
No. So, in all the let's try to compare and contrast the similarities between the situations where he's first seen these spirits or whatever the fuck they are, and the second time. And what's the similarity here? Why is he seeing them now of all times? What does it mean?
I mean, when he originally saw all the All for One, One for All users. God damn it! Now I'm doing it now. When he originally saw them, he was in a place in which where he couldn't do anything, and he was doing something for someone else. And I don't think it's necessarily linked. And one thing which kind of concerns me that happens in 193 is that it says All Might was wrong about these visions.
I think he lied. I don't think he was actually wrong.
Because if he was wrong, it worries me. That Deku's quirk might become this like fucking get me out of jail card. In which way he has
jail free card.
Yeah, where he has voices telling him what to do.
I don't think that's gonna be the case. Like, sure.
It literally happened once during the sports festival. It literally got him out of the Shinzo situation, which I personally think Deku should have just straight up lost that fight. Like, from story, it makes sense for Deku to get to like the semi-finals, but from when you actually look at it, Shinzo deserved that win. Just straight up.
It's hard to tell. I think there is some precedent for some of the previous users having influence over the main user's body, and that's I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, it's not meta breaking in the world of My Hero, because in most of the time Deku will be in control.
Kinky ghost sex. Oh, can't wait for it.
Oh no! Oh,
this is after a time skip in which where Deku is 18. We do not promote the idea of children taking part in sexual acts. This has been a message from the Quirkless Podcast Incorporated.
But yeah, this chapter was interesting to say the least.
It's nice.
I'm
to see
tempted.
Endeavor actually realize he has to atone. He has to put actions and not just words.
Yeah, I think he knew that. I don't think really he learned anything in this chapter that he probably wasn't already aware of.
Well, he's suspicious of Hawks. I think it's hinted that he's suspicious of Hawks.
Yeah, I hope our next arc is focused on Deku, because as much as I like this this current arc with this past arc with Endeavor and Hawks, yeah. I want Horikoshi to spend how many chapters? We're at 193. The next 7 chapters delving into what the fuck is going on.
I feel like right now it's just it seems as if it's going to switch between pro hero work and Deku, because we still have the Gigantomachina plot thread, and we know Hawks is only gonna have to take 2 days for his plumage and shit to grow back, and in which way him and Endeavor are probably gonna team up again.
Okay. What does Aoyama have to do with this?
Because he's the one who sees Deku in the next chapter.
Yeah, almost directly after OG user. That's why I've been calling him.
Their rooms are right next to each other, aren't they?
Yeah. But it's the panel placement is what gets me. We get "You're Not Alone" and then followed by 4 panels of Aoyama. It's 5 actually.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Should we just hop into 193 right now?
Yeah.
Because we've said all we can about
Yeah, I mean,
192.
yeah.
It's hard to tell whether or not it's trying to hint at something specific, or if it's just like if it's a joke or not. Because we did recently get chapters covering Aoyama during the Gentle arc, if that's what we're gonna call it.
Okay, so maybe the "you're not alone" bit is like the same thing where it's like it's calling back to the thing where he said, "My quirk doesn't fit my body, your quirk doesn't fit your body." Maybe that's why it's saying.
It's the "You Are Not Alone" is the first user of One for All speaking to Deku.
Yeah, I know. You're not alone, and and then that quote is answered by an image of Aoyama. So maybe they're gonna become training partners. Maybe that's what this upcoming arc is. Intense training with Aoyama.
That seems
he's wearing
considering he was one of the characters I think is one of the least developed in the class.
I would love that. Aoyama getting an arc is top tier shit. But man, what's the likelihood of that? Would people even want to see an Aoyama arc? Of course they would, but they're not stupid.
I don't think anyone actually hates Aoyama. However, I'm waiting for that juicy Mineta arc. Oh, can't wait for that.
It's called Mineta Bowling, and they throw him at a fucking wall for 30 minutes.
This Mineta's empty, yeet.
Yeet. This grape juice is empty. Yeet. That spiked my audio so hard.
I just imagine if we ever get a time skip, Mineta just ends up looking like Gran Torino, but except when he's younger.
Honestly, yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, I want more Gran Torino. I want that old shit to come back.
He's currently getting beaten the fuck up by Gigantomachina.
No, wasn't he? Didn't he show up earlier? Damn it, I can't remember.
He's still dealing the Gigantomachina thing. They wouldn't, because we never actually found out what happened. They wouldn't show us Gran Torino if we didn't know what happened with Gigantomachina.
Deku and Aoyama are gonna go fight Gigantomachina with fuck. So bad at this.
Suyu.
What's his? No, Suyu. No, with Gran Torino. I'm stupid.
I'm just literally wondering what that thread was going to, because it got introduced right at the end of the Chisaki arc, and like we haven't really got an answer on it yet, and I'm still thinking why we haven't found out what happens, unless it eventually ties in with something that's going to happen to the main class.
I wonder if Gigantomachina is like a Nomu, or is he just a regular guy?
He's a regular guy. Gigantomachina is the same guy. Remember during the Chisaki arc where you had that flashback with Kirishima?
Yeah. I was just so like,
I don't think he's a Nomu. He's someone. He's one of All For One's like minions. And one thing which is kind of interesting, he kind of looks similar to. He would look similar to the guy who got the spike quirk.
In the
flashback where he transfers the jaw, one which fucked up the guy's jaw, into the guy who got mugged.
Yeah.
He would look kind of like him, I think. But the spikes.
That could be the case. Yeah, that could be the case. That maybe that's what this entire flashback was for. But I'm hoping we do follow back up on that.
I hope he does. So we see that Deku's quirk is way more connected to the users than what we originally thought.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to think about it really.
Drawing more Avatar comparisons every day.
Oh, God.
I know Horikoshi says he doesn't mean it, and that he hasn't even seen the show. But come on, man. Come on. I think you're asking for it.
I think the idea of just passing something on and having like almost like a reincarnation type thing, not the reincarnation stuff you were talking about. But I think that's just a thing that they have in writing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily like a link to Avatar.
Yeah, but it's very similar to the Avatar state. Or at least the like Avatar cycle is what I meant. But I yeah. I don't know, man. I really enjoyed this Endeavor Hawks thing, and I'm glad it's coming to an end as well, cuz I really want to see what the fuck's going on with One and for All.
Yeah, this chapter was like when I was reading it, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is a lot to take in because there's a lot of dialogue, and it's mainly just showing like what type of guy All for One was, and I don't know what I think about him because yeah, he's the bad guy, but if you really think about it, at the time, yes, he was trying to gain power, and he does end up doing acts of terrorism at some points, just blowing up buildings because people didn't disagree with him. But some of the shit he does, like, isn't really that bad. He's helping people, but there's always he's doing it. How do I say it? It kind of links back to the heroes and villains of the two sides of the same coin. All for One thinks he's doing good by helping people who have been given quirks that they don't want or need, which is badly affecting them. But he's also slowly manipulating people to come to his side.
Oh my god. All for One is Mark Zuckerberg. It was in front of us this entire time. Facebook is All for One. It was good. It had good intentions, but it's evil.
I feel like one thing which I thought about. So when Deku ends up being seen in the vision, he's not completely there. Only his head and his arm are really there, and he doesn't have legs. And I think that's interesting, because he's only at 20% of his full power. Which might infer that as Deku starts progressing, he will see more and more of these visions, and they'll be more complete and less hazy.
And the reason why All Might's fading away is because he's losing All for One, and maybe after he passes away, he'll be fully there.
Oh, that just builds more and more to like All Might's eventual death. There is also the question if passing the quirk on it and having it links your soul or your mentality to the quirk, because the original user is just straight up talking to Deku, like.
Oh, okay. Well, I just thought about this. So, it's a quirk that stores power, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the age-old saying?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Knowledge is power.
Oh, okay.
It's passing down knowledge of how to defeat All for One. Okay, so go ahead with what you're gonna say. Sorry, that just dawned on me. I was like, oh.
I just think that as Deku eventually gets 100%, we're going to see more of these visions, and because everything's very hazy right now, buildings aren't fully complete because it's still very misty. Deku's not even in his full form. And there's two users of All for One that we just can't see.
Oh yeah, Kirishima and Bakugo.
Totally. It seems as if the guy wants to speak more to Deku, but currently can't, because he's only at 20%. So maybe the better he gets, the more messages he's going to get. And it just links to like the thing you said. They could potentially tell him how All for One fights, and it does seem to be hinting that All for One's definitely going to come back. But the real question is, are we going to be fighting him, or are we going to be fighting the person that All for One decides to actually pass down his quirk to, if he decides to do that?
Yeah. So the OG user fixed Deku's hand. Mm-hmm. What's going on with that? I think it might be I was just thinking about this. Maybe like the previous users of All for One never really tapped in to his power, because I mean, his brother puts it very bluntly. He was weak. Mm-hmm. He was not very powerful at all. Maybe like he used the last bit of his power, or what little power he had to fix Deku's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows how he did that?
That-
Maybe he used his own power to fill in Deku's body so it's a more perfect container for One for All.
There is something which kind of worries me about seeing more about the quirk, is that I feel like originally it was just a quirk that stores up power and it can be transferred onto the next person. I don't like the idea of the quirk either All Might hiding information away from Deku, or the quirk is just randomly mutating to start fixing things. Because then the real question is, why wasn't he able to fix his stomach that got completely fucked after the All for One fight?
Maybe All Might wasn't lying. Maybe like the OG user just didn't think he was the right one, the one who could actually beat One for All.
Or I
All for One.
I thought of something real quick. What if the quirk has semblance of a healing factor of sorts?
Yeah.
And that is how All Might, despite getting the shit kicked out of him from
Could
All for
still
One,
go into
can still
muscle
go
form.
into his muscular form.
Yeah.
But obviously, in All Might's case, because obviously he's not the next user, so there's not that much power as Deku would have. There's also the fact that he was way too damaged.
Yeah. I mean, like an incomplete vessel. Exactly. Like, so, what's the singularity? I already have like an entire script written out about this. So,
Oh, wait, I forget. I don't even know what the word singularity means. I forget what it means. Do you know the meaning?
it's like a term in robotics. It's like a term in robotics for when technology gets so advanced that it will start progressing exponentially.
Oh, okay.
So it's when something gets so advanced that it starts progressing exponentially. But we already have mention of a singularity prior in the series. We have the quirk singularity, which was mentioned by what's his fucking name in the preschool kids arc, the kindergarten kid arc.
Oh, because that's to do about quirks getting stronger and stronger as generations go on.
Yes. And why is that pertinent to this discussion? Why is OG user bringing this up? Well, it's obvious because the more powerful quirks get, the more powerful that the quirks he can steal, that All for One can steal. So that's why he needs to be careful. And maybe there's even a quirk out there that directly negates One for All. We don't know. And that's why it's important that he be careful with the new singularity, with the singularity being reached.
Okay, a lot of thoughts. That is, I like that idea because, one thing I forgot to mention about the All for One thing. Remember last episode where we said that if a horrible nation got hold of quirks, it would be so horrible. That's kind of what happened with All for One. So we can kind of see a glimpse of what would happen if a shitty nation got hold of quirks as strong.
Yeah, like America.
Like fuck
you,
America.
Fuck you.
No, America's alright, but
fuck you.
That's interesting,
Yeah.
especially considering the Nomu that we just saw is way stronger and has way more quirks than most Nomus.
Okay, so the Cell Division quirk, isn't that fucking insane? Isn't that like that's so powerful, and it's so specific too? Because another prerequisite for the quirk singularity was that quirks would get more complex. Well, isn't like fucking creating Nomus really complex?
Do we know if it's division or if he just stored Nomus? Because wasn't Endeavor still confused on whether or not it's whether it's multiplying itself or if it's just storing Nomus?
I believe it was called fission, so it was probably creating Nomus.
And Dabby, it could have been because Dabby didn't tell him because he just bought one super strong Nomu. He didn't say I came here to collect the Nomus. I came here to collect the Nomu. So it is probably just, but they're weaker versions. It's not like he was creating multiple high ends. But I guess that could be like the gold, a high-end Nomu that duplicates itself
It's
to
like
create
a
other high-ends.
it's like a aircraft carrier. It's like it's really strong itself, but it also has these like it can also have like planes and shit. I don't fucking know. But we're definitely I feel a lot better about this chapter after talking about it a bit.
Mhm.
And again, the mention of a singularity is where the idea of time travel came from, and the idea of reincarnation. I don't think that's the case, and if it is the case, I'll probably be very sad because that's really dumb.
I also thought of something else about the singularity. So, Deku's quirk, I've been thinking about this. I might have mentioned it on an episode, I don't know. Eventually, the quirk, one for all, is going to get so strong to the point that no one's going to be able to use it, right?
Yeah.
So do you think there's a time limit on how far Deku can, well, just one for all in general can go on until it's literally just a deadly quirk that it can't even be sustained?
It would be really interesting if in the very next conversation they have, he's
Mhm.
just like, all for one cannot have, or one for all cannot have a 10th user. It is up to you. You have to do it. This is why I'm fixing your body. You can't break it again. Please don't break it again.
It makes sense because it also adds it adds more pressure as well for Deku to succeed because he can't just fuck up and give it to someone else because we saw what happened to Deku when he was using the quirk. And what percentage was he even using back then? Could he just not control the percentage? Or was he just going 100%? It just straight breaks his arm.
In which one?
In the beginning. This is like far
Oh,
back.
yeah, he was using 100%. I believe. And that's why his arm was breaking.
Like, if it continues to stock up power, Deku will be like a hero for like around 40, 50 years. If he were to pass that up, we don't know how fast the quirk stocks up power. Is it multiplying it each time so it gets way more stronger each time it's passed on, or is it the same amount of increments?
I think it like stores. Somebody wrote out like an entire theory about like, and I wish I could remember where it was. It was on Reddit, but I don't remember what it was called. And it was saying it like something about binary. It was really confusing.
Oh, so
and I didn't follow much of it. And he was basically saying that All Might was like the pinnacle, the singularity point, like of pure strength.
Were you thinking of something like Cell Division, in which because it keeps multiplying binary, so like you know how bacteria becomes 2, then 4, and then 8.
Yeah.
So was that the theory that's what All for One is like?
It was something like that. It was like he had like an equation for it.
Jesus.
And it was a pretty simple equation, but it was interesting. And I don't remember what it was.
I do like the idea of the quirk just getting way too strong, because that could also mean what the singularity is. Not only is it children's quirk, but the state of Deku's quirk could literally like kill him because it's storing so much energy that it can't be passed on or even used at its full potential eventually. Which
and I mean, we already know that at least one of All for One's like minions is a doctor and has access to like children with exceptional quirks that he can use because of the flying Nomu. If you believe that theory, I think I'm willing to believe that.
I'm willing.
I'm not gonna put all my eggs in that basket. And when it comes to theory crafting, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. You should always manage your expectations.
Unless it's reincarnation,
unless then we're putting all our prison. Unless it's Prison Break arc, that's 100% confirmed. I talked to Horikoshi. He's my dad.
I've put like all my money into Prison Break arc stocks. If it doesn't happen, it's gonna crash. And I'm gonna be bankrupt. Actually, both of us are. I've put your money into it too.
I agree.
I'm fine with that. We're gonna be rich. We'll actually have the Quirkless podcast incorporated. It'll be great.
You know, I just thought of something.
What?
You know how they're adding like Negan to Tekken?
Mm-hmm.
What if they had All Might to Tekken?
But he can one shot everyone.
Yeah, he breaks the arena. They're adding Jotaro and All Might to Tekken.
I just remembered one thing about this chapter. They don't call quirks quirks. They call them metas, meta abilities.
I think that like has been a thing where that was the prior term for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what DC uses to talk about their powers. So if you have powers in the DC universe, you're a meta human.
That's kind of funny considering how much this chapter relates to comic books. Considering the original One for All user, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know what to think of this guy, considering he just seems to be jobless guy who reads comics and is just like, the villains always lose, brother. And he's just like, what?
Only read volume 3 through
like,
volume 3. There was more to the story.
I saw a meme and it's the Virgin one for all user and the Chad all for one user.
Yeah.
It's funny stuff. So,
But
is there anything else you want to talk about this chapter?
No, I think I'm fine. I'm not on board with reincarnation. That's all I have to say about this chapter. And I hope.
Go on.
I hope next chapter's Aoyama Deku training arc.
I like this chapter. It's a lot to take in. I just hope that Deku's quirk doesn't end up becoming some mystical thing which can like change its ability at will or give him a get out of field jail card. Get free. I can't.
Jailbait free card.
Jailbait free. No. Just gets him out of a situation when he really shouldn't really be getting out of it. But
yeah. I mean, it literally just fixed a scar on his hand. I don't think we have much to worry about at the moment.
Was that actually his scarred hand? Because I was pretty confused.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It's in the arts when he reaches out to him. You can see the scars on it.
Okay.
Or that may be shading. Let me zoom in real quick.
No, it's a scar.
Yeah, it's definitely the scarred hand. So, yeah, he fixes his scarred hand. What that means is up in the air. I don't know, man.
Healing factor.
Like, I think it was probably OG user giving his minimal strength in order to fix Deku's body so he could become a semi-perfect carrier for All for One, or One for All.
Worst case scenario, Deku actually had a quirk and it was a healing factor. Worst case scenario.
He doesn't have the bone, though.
Yeah.
Deku's quirk is that he doesn't have the bone.
But remember, if you believe in the theory, Doctor's bad guy. Doctor lied.
Oh, Dr. lied. Deku got all his vaccines and it took away his quirk. Doctors are liars.
Vaccines cause bone deficiency, which mean no quirk. Vaccine bad.
No quirk. No, it gives you an extra. Wait. Yeah, it gives you an extra bone, I think.
Is autism a quirk?
Yes.
Oh, then vaccines don't give quirks. Shit.
We both have a quirk. Ah, fuck. We gotta rename the podcast.
Oh, fuck.
Well, that does it for this episode of the Quirkless Pod.
Wait.
Cut that out. That does it. I meant to do it in like a Texan accent, but it went straight into the fucked up area.
Do you want to speak a little bit about the anime real quick?
Yeah. I really like all the filler stuff, honestly.
I liked the ninja stuff. I really did not like the IQ girl. I think
the ninja stuff was kind of boring in my opinion. It was literally, is Todoroki gonna win? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he do it. No, I don't like the idea of like an IQ quirk. Like Nezu has it, and it's fine because he's a rat. But he's not a
but she
hero.
has to drink tea.
That's so dumb. Like, what's she gonna do?
It's not dumb.
Carry like 5 canisters of tea around with her wherever she goes.
Yes.
Hold on, guys.
She has a little travel mug.
She can't be.
Nah, she'd probably wear. She probably, yeah. You know, I've been thinking about it. You know who is probably my actual favorite pro hero?
Who?
Ingenium.
Oh.
I really like him, especially how he's used in Vigilantes.
Is he
He's
really
such a
pro
cool
hero?
guy.
Is he really a pro hero though? Because he's retired.
Not anymore.
Because
I have a theory.
Go on.
I have a theory that Koichi and Popstep from Illegals are running his hero agency now. I want to believe. Horikoshi, please.
One thing about illegals is that it doesn't feel the same without.
It doesn't feel the same. I wonder if that might be because it's a different author.
No, I'm referring to it doesn't feel like old illegals because Knuckle just is like not there anymore.
You know what?
And I really miss him.
I totally get that, but I really like Popstep and Koichi's dynamic, so I can't complain.
Like I want him to come back because like I like Koichi and I like Popstep, but just like a piece of the team is gone, and like Knuckle just it's just like you read all these chapters, and like Knuckle just has like always been there. He's like Koichi's teacher, and then just like he goes off on his own one thing, does his shit, and then like just never shows up, leaves his shit with Koichi and Popstep, and it's like, okay, I'm gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
It's just it's not the same. I want him to come back, and I'm gonna keep reading illegals until he does, and I'll finally be happy.
I don't think he's coming back.
I don't like the girl with the IQ quirk. Would just like to point out her quirk makes her like a super genius, but she doesn't plan for, I don't know, when the enemy decides to attack. They have literally 2 options: defend, attack, and you didn't think for the second option.
Well, Momo main character, she win instantly.
God, the moment that episode came out, my friends were just fucking like, Momo is now the smartest character in all of My Hero. She outsmarted someone with over a 150 IQ that was times by how many her quirk does.
Yeah. Okay, one thing I gotta say about it, was it ever in question that Momo was the smartest character? Because I'm pretty sure it's been a widely accepted fact.
No, it's just
widely accepted fact.
It's just more of she's now smarter than someone who seems like the smartest person around. Like she's way smarter than someone with 150 IQ when it's times by her quirk.
Okay, yeah. So go read My Hero, support Viz. I need to get going. Talk to you later, people.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
This is Zach from the future and not Callum typing in a Google Translate thing. Go vote for your fave character in the My Hero popularity poll. And if you like the episodes, feel free to share them and tell us your thoughts on the chapter in the comments below.